Did you know that the United Nations Food and Agriculture Organization, FAO, estimate that a third of global food production is either wasted or lost? Did you know that 1 in every 7 people in the world go to bed hungry, and more than 20,000 children under the age of 5 die daily from hunger? Tonight, Dolor Factor Live joins the United Nations and St. Lucia's Ministry of Agriculture to inform and encourage you to become more aware of the environmental impact of the food choices you make and empowers you to make informed decisions. So stay with us for tonight's Dolor Factor Live.
The views expressed in this program are those of the host and guests and in no way represent those of DBS and are not intended to determine decision-making processes. Dolor Factor Live is brought to you compliments of Carib Cable, Prestige Auto Holdings Limited, Ference Dairy, Court St. Lucia, Glass Graphics, Transit TV, Star Publishing, Touch Therapies, Vision Express, Infinity Color Shop, EC Global, Baywalk Shopping Mall, Sea Island Cotton Shop.
And welcome to Dolor Factor Live. I just quoted some startling but true facts about food usage and wastage, and that's one of the reasons that the theme for this year's World Environment Day celebrations is Think, Eat, Save. This year's campaign rallies you to take action from your home and then witness the power of collective decisions you and others have made to reduce food waste, save money, minimize the environmental impact of food production, and force food production processes to become more efficient. If food is wasted, it means that all the resources and inputs used in the production of all the food are also lost. Now, that's something that we don't think about. So, for example, it takes about 1,000 liters of water to produce 1 liter of milk, and about 16,000 liters goes into a cow's food to make a hamburger. Now, the resulting greenhouse gas emissions from the cows themselves and throughout the food supply chain all end up in vain when we waste food. Now, we always hear, eat, don't waste, but we throw things. That's what's happening behind the scenes. Now, in fact, the global food production occupies 25% of all habitable land and is responsible for 70% of freshwater consumption, 80% of deforestation, and 30% of greenhouse gas emissions. It is the largest single driver of biodiversity loss and land use change. So making informed decisions therefore means, for example, that you purposely select foods that have less of an environmental impact, such as organic foods that do not use chemicals in the production process. Choosing to buy locally can also mean that foods are not flown halfway across the world and therefore limit emissions. Now, that's a lot to have said, and I hope that you started thinking seriously about what I've said. Now, educating us to think before we eat and help save our environment is my guest, Barry Innocent, who is the Deputy Director of Agricultural Services, Ministry of Agriculture, Food Production, Fisheries. Welcome, Barry.
Thank you.
I'm really glad that you're here tonight. I'm really glad that you feel so passionately about our subject.
Yeah.
And I'm really hoping that you transfer some of that passion to our viewers so that they truly understand, because I think a lot of people don't understand when we say climate change, when we say, you know, treat our environment friendly. They don't understand, they're just words.
Yes.
And they don't mean anything. So I'm really hoping that we can get something together tonight.
Definitely.
So welcome to the set.
Thank you so much.
And what would be your aim for tonight?
Well, my aim tonight is to ensure that the public is educated, not only about the environment, but more about environmentally friendly home gardening, and also to encourage less wastage of food and resources that can be better used.
Right, and that's something that I think that we all need to be more aware of.
Definitely.
Because I know I've heard so many times when people say, you know, don't waste, or some people, they actually, instead of wasting the food, they'll put them aside to feed their animals.
Yes,
but if you don't have an animal, all this food is just going into the bin. And sometimes, you know, people go out and they eat the food, or they buy more food than they really need, and it's all wasting.
I tell you. There's a particular restaurant we went to, And it was interesting to see. We did a little experiment. We told the manager of the restaurant, for today, when you serve a guest, ask the guest if they want a glass of water. If the guest says yes, then leave the glass of water there. If the guest says no, then take that glass of water and pour it in the drum outside. And can you believe it? By quarter through the day, the drum was completely overflowing. Now, whenever you just approach a guest and you put a glass of water for them, if they don't want it, they don't drink it, it cannot be reused. So that's just almost a drum of water, this going all to waste. So that is just one of the things we want to look at tonight.
You know, that is so effective, that example, because sometimes when you were saying that, I was just thinking, oh, well, it can't stay there for too long because, you know, after a while, you know, a fly might drop into it. But, you know, I mean, that could be what most people are thinking.
Yes,
they're not thinking about the environmental impact that that one glass of water is. It's them and their one glass of water, but then collectively there are hundreds of thousands of glasses of water just wasting.
Dying of thirst in Africa. And all that kind of water wasting. When you drive by the roads, you see so much mangoes wasting by the side of the road, when so much can be done with these mangoes. Juicing, pulping, so much things can be done. So I'm hoping our discussion tonight can make the public aware of all these concepts, and because it'll be applicable to their lives.
Well, I'm hoping that not only, sometimes it's not just a matter of giving people the information, because we can talk as much as we like.
That's true.
We can give them solutions.
Yes.
But if people themselves do not make up their minds to do something about it, then you're wasting your breath.
That's true.
And I'm wasting mine. And I think that my breath is quite precious. And I'm sure you think yours is quite precious too.
Mine is precious to me.
Good. So people, we have taken the time to bring this show to you because we want to inform you. We want to make sure that you are properly informed, and that when you waste something, that you understand why it is you're wasting, and perhaps, you know, grow instead.
Right.
You know, grow it instead, so at least you limit. And, you know, I think it's a case of, you know, sometimes if you take care of something yourself, you're most likely not going to waste it.
That's true. That's true. That's,
you know, so if we look at it that way as well. So stick with us tonight, and hopefully we're going to show you and tell you things that you knew already, but for whatever reason, it just didn't click, you know, that you should have done that. But now it's time for 2 in a row. Now, Barry sat there thinking, oh, we've spoken for a while, so it's not going to happen. But I'm going to give him some questions here. Now, I would like to know, Barry, what is your favorite sport and why?
I think my favorite sport is the 100 meters dash.
Okay.
Yes, yes, yes.
Did you used to run?
Oh, yes. Oh, yes. I have plenty of gold medals at home from the 100 meters dash from secondary school life.
Wow.
Yes, yes.
So what about now?
Well, these days, a completely different social environment.
But it's healthy, so.
But it's very healthy, yes. Well, I try to stay fit, but I don't think I can run that same speed anymore.
Yeah, well, you know, I suppose it's effort more than anything else.
Yes, yes.
Okay, the next question I'm going to ask you, and the last one is, tell us the last book you read. Can you remember what it was?
Oh, definitely. The last book I read was Emotional Intelligence.
I read that.
Yes.
That is a brilliant book.
Brilliant, brilliant book.
Brilliant book. They use it at universities.
Right. Well, my master's thesis was the psychosocial aspects of change in agricultural development. So the book applied to my professional interests also.
Yes.
You know, yes. Very interesting.
And you know what I liked about that book? It was written in very simple language.
That's right.
But it was very complex issues.
And I like the way the author went right back into history to the caveman and brought it back to the current gender right now in this present time. I like the way he connected the two, how the caveman and his emotional intelligence compared to the current human race and their emotional intelligence.
You know, and books like that, you know, they're always going to be worthwhile books, because when I read that, I think that was about 7, 8 years ago when I was doing my degree, and yet it's something that's still prevalent, it's still current in the degree book list.
Yes, I think it's very important right now for us to understand human behavior, because people's mentality affects everything. You can't even lead without understanding how people think and how they behave. This book really gives sufficient knowledge on that aspects.
Yes, it is. It's a great book. Great. Well, thank you for sharing that with us. Now, here's a few pictures that we'd like to share with you. Now, last week's guest, Jermaine Defoe, and I, well, after the show, we actually sat down with a bottle of water from the DFL sponsors, Paradise Water, and we chatted on set. And I'm going to keep you informed about the Jermaine Defoe Foundation, because he has graciously said he's going to ensure his mom is still on island, and we're going to be meeting up to find out a little bit more about the foundation and see how DFL and DBS viewers can help with that, because of course it's all about helping St. Lucia's children, and I'm sure that's something that we want to do. And of course Jermaine announced the football academy that he is going to be building here. So thank you so much to Jermaine, who had a really hectic time last week but made sure he was only here for the last few minutes of the show. He was filming in Viewport, but he just wanted to make sure he showed his face, and he did. So good luck to him for that and his love for St. Lucia. Okay, now we have another picture for you. Now remember, last weekend we had some winners. The Ladera contest. It was the Ladera Father's Day brunch. And in the picture now you have Nancy Daisy Frederick and her father Sylvester. Now then you can see here Nancy, Sylvester and her husband Eric. They were wonderful people. You know, as soon as I saw them I thought, oh, you can just see the love. And as you can see there, here I am with my Sea Island cotton dress. Everyone said to me they really loved it. We were at the restaurant, and you can see the pt1 behind us, and Nancy's wonderful face. Beautiful. She had a really great time. And also we have another picture of another winner. Of course, you can see sitting there is Kirby Allen and his family. They had a really great time. You can see by the you know, look at the things on the plate. Wow. It's empty. But they had a really great time, so much so that Kirby told me he actually rang the service manager and the food and beverage manager, Lee Donat, and said, you know, how wonderful the service was and the food and everything, and it just brought the family together. So I want to say thank you to Ladera's General Manager Olivier Botois and his staff headed by Lee Donat and Mark Anderson for such a wonderful time, and the food was absolutely delicious. So there's a place for people to go to if you want to think of a special occasion, a romantic occasion or family occasion at Ladera and the Dasheen restaurant. Now, this week's Dolor Factor fan is Favor Anibi, and Favor has a lot to say about Dolor Factor Live in the Fan Factor section of dolorfactorlive.com, and take a visit and see if you agree. You know, our fans are always so attractive. Look at her, she's beautiful. Isn't she? Look at that beautiful lady. Look at her hair and everything.
I've got to be careful, my wife may be listening. Just kidding, just kidding.
I'm sure your wife is a very gracious lady and appreciates beauty too.
Just kidding.
Oh boy. Now, we ran out of time last week to announce the giveaway winners, and we asked on the Ferens TV ad, where the man chases the truck, what flavor ice cream is featured at the end of the ad. Now, the answer was pistachio, and the winner of the 3-liter Ferens ice cream of your choice is Michael M. And the Rainforest Hideaway winner who won dinner for 2 was Kathleen Herman. We asked who plays jazz at Rainforest Hideaway on Wednesdays and Saturdays, and of course it's Empress and Emerson Nurse. And again, that's a wonderful place to go. The jazz is nice, the food is great, and also the whole trip getting to Rainforest by ferry. It's a really lovely evening out. Now, this week's giveaway. Infinity Colour Shop is giving away a gallon of Sisson's gloss paint in the colour of your choice. Wow. So if you have to do some painting, this is the time to go to Infinity. So tell us, how many locations does Carrasco and Sons sell Sisson's paint? At how many locations does Carrasco and Sons sell Sisson's paint? Now that could be one of those tongue twisters. Carrasco and Sons sell Sisson's paint. Okay, now question number 2. For your chance to win a Carib Cable gift bag, just tell us the name of Carib Cable's summer promotion. To win a gift bag from Carib Cable, tell us the name of Carib Cable's summer promotion. I'm telling you, some great stuff in that gift bag. Now the questions can be found on dolorfactorlive.com, Facebook page Dolor Factor Live TV show. So stay with us. We're going to be talking about the environment and lots more. So we'll see you soon.